The following are tips for organization and productivity. The first one would be to utilize an online calendar. You can use Canvas's online calendar. It is just listed right here. And you can see that any assignments or events that your teachers create in Canvas will automatically be populated in the Canvas calendar, but you also have your own individual calendar. So anytime you double click within the calendar space, you can create an event or you can create a task that will be listed under your to-do list. So you could say study for chem, specify a time and any details. You could add all of your things that you need to study for or upcoming tests that aren't populated within Canvas. You can add them to this calendar to help you with organization. If you're someone that prefers to use the Google Calendar, you can do that as well, and you can actually create the calendar feed into Google Calendar just by selecting calendar feed, copying that calendar feed. You can see that you could go to the gearbox, go to settings, add calendar, from URL, paste, add calendar. So now when I go back, you can see that your calendar is just listed right under here, but it will say your name. So tech tip number 2 would be schedule blocking. So schedule blocking is a way for you to create every hour, 30 minutes, assignments and tasks to work on throughout the day. So this is a great organization tip and productivity tip. So even scheduling time to get outside and exercise by the hour. So study for vocab, eat dinner. This is a great way to stay on task, especially when you're working remotely. Tech tip number 3 would be to create a to-do list. So if you're someone that you know that won't be using schedule blocking, then use the to-do list within the Google Calendar under tasks. You can simply add a task here, or you can use a third-party app such as Todoist. So that is Todoist. They have a web version, they have an app version, they have a Chrome extension. So this is another great way to stay on task if you're someone that you know won't be using the Canvas calendar or won't be using Google Calendars. You can create a to-do list either through this app or through the calendar tasks. Tip number 4 would be to utilize the split screen on your iPad. So if you want to have multiple apps open, this is a really convenient way to do that. You just swipe up from the bottom, but not too much, otherwise it will pull up multitasking. So you just want to swipe up a little bit, and you should already have that app running, so that will show up down below, and you can just click on it and drag it to either the left or right side, and it will show split screen. So maybe you want to have Canvas up and Notability at the same time. Keep in mind, if you are someone that has maybe a Zoom class, you may not want to use this feature because it will disable your video. So if that's the case, consider opening up a Zoom on a second device, such as your phone or your laptop. Tip number 5 is to create a PDF using your iPad. So you can do that in Notability. You just click the plus sign and then click Document Scan, and that way you can scan into Notability a PDF document and create it as a PDF document. So maybe it's some math homework or some equations that you're... Another option for PDF creation is Adobe Scan Digital PDF Scanner, which is an app that you can add to your phone as an alternative. Tip number 6 for productivity would be using a screencasting tool. So if you have a laptop or desktop, Loom is a great option. They offer a free education one with your school account that would allow for 45 minutes of screencasting and unlimited videos. So you just need to verify your account. Alternatively, you could use Screencastify. That is available as a Chrome extension, but they have a more limited time for recording. So a screencast is what you're viewing right now. It is literally just recording your screen. You can have your video show up at the bottom of an image of yourself, and it is a great tool to explain something, or you could use it for a homework assignment. Maybe you're going over a keynote during remote learning or PowerPoint, and it's a way for you to record your audio and video over your PowerPoint slide or any other tool that you want to share. If you're using your iPad, the best option would just be to use the built-in screen recorder on your iPad under the control panel. Another great screencasting creation tool for your iPad would be Explain Everything. So this would be the free version of the app, and this is a great way for you to a great tool for you to use. So consider Explain Everything as an alternative to the built-in screen recorder on your iPad. Tip number 7 is do not multitask. So studies show that if you're trying to multitask by checking social media and doing homework at the same time, or I don't know, maybe 2 homework assignments at the same time, it's not going to be helpful. You'll be less productive. So do not multitask. The final tip, tip number 8, is on productivity. So if you are having trouble with Canvas, maybe you don't know how to submit something that's required of your teacher, maybe it's a type of recording, or you're having some user issues, you can go to the help question mark icon in your global navigation and search the Canvas guides. Canvas guides are extremely helpful. You can search anything such as how do I submit a Google Doc as a student, and it will show up a PDF or a video tutorial. If you're still having issues and you can't find the answer to your question, you can go to Report a Problem. So what this does is it directs you straight to our IT department, and they will troubleshoot and help you out.